You're now tuned in to The Twisted Truth with Corey Wesley, where everyday conversations take an unexpected turn. Entrepreneur, artist, author, and truth seeker, Corey Wesley is here to challenge the way we think, question the norms, and bring fresh perspectives to life, business, and beyond. With unfiltered discussions, special guests, and real talk, get ready for a show that's bold, insightful, and always a little twisted. Buckle up, because the truth isn't always what it seems. And now, here's your host, Corey Wesley. Welcome to another episode of The Twisted Truth with me, Corey, your host. Well, starting a podcast is overwhelming, isn't it? Not anymore. Here's the easiest way to begin. So, as a new podcaster, someone who has been trying to do this multiple times, I did Colorful Conversations with the co-host. Then I tried to do The Twisted Truth with a couple of other co-hosts. And Lord have mercy, none of that worked, right? But then really didn't understand the whole podcasting world, right? But I know I wanted to do it. And I know many of you out there are saying, yes, I've been trying to do it. I want to do it, but I don't know where to start. Well, the best thing about this whole video is that you know me, I know you, and I'm here to help, okay? Because I'm someone who's had to be, I'm self-taught. And I have dissected and gone on YouTube and looked at videos after videos after videos. And I know it can get a little confusing, can it? And then you have all these people giving advice after advice after advice. And then after you watch all of that, you still lost, right? And then you're looking at the screen saying, I don't want to do it. And I know the honest thing to do is just start. Don't watch videos. That's going to be my first thing. Although you watching this video, watch this video before you stop watching videos, okay? But don't look at advice. Just do it at first, right? Because you're not monetized. Everybody's talking about being monetized and all that. And I understand that is part of the process. This is a platform where you can make money. But again, it is all about the intention. If you have a positive message, if you have a story, if you have something to say, if you have something to share, someone's going to listen. Someone's going to hear you. I mean, just don't get on here and just talk about what the food you eat. I mean, tell me a recipe. Tell me how to cook it, how to lose some weight. Tell me something. Or even share. Be a testimony. I believe in the spirits, the universe, and above. And whatever you believe, the ancestors, God, the universe, whatever, and if you don't believe in any of it, there's still some energy around you. And I believe that you are destined to do what you need to do, but you don't always need influences around you. And because they guide you in the wrong direction. I think, yes, you want to monetize if that's your goal, but again, you have to have a positive intent. In my message, as I kind of almost forgot what I was saying, see, you have to have an intention. And I think sometimes people are like, oh my God, I got to teach somebody something, or you got to, and I agree. Yes, it's like a damn, excuse my language. When you go to YouTube, I can help you do this. Everybody can help you do something. And I will say, I have learned a lot by doing snippets of watching people from like Photoshop, Instagram, how to, do certain things that I'm looking for. But I would say the reason that I gained the knowledge is because I did it first without looking. And then when things weren't working or needed guidance, I would then put in the keywords. And this is where we start. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, how do you record? Okay. Obviously, you need a laptop or some type of a recording mechanism, your phone. Now our phones are high tech. But I would say if you're going to use your phone, I agree the mics are great, but they have inexpensive mics. I started out with these little tiny mics that went into my phone. I plugged the little thing in. I put the little mic on, and it actually enhanced the audio. I think the phones are great, but with outside noise and things like that, you need a better mic just so that you have better audio. So that's the first thing. Don't spend a lot of money though. Okay. I didn't spend a lot of money. Okay. Because I felt like, hey, I don't even know if I want to do this right. I might not even like it. And then you spend all this money and then you're like, okay, I spent money for nothing. Okay. So then obviously you need lighting. They have Temu, TEMU, whatever they call it. You can go in there and order something. You can go to Amazon. They have inexpensive lighting. Just get some lighting, and please clean your house or have a green screen. You don't even have to have the big green screen. They have the ones that are little that you can get for a reasonable amount of money. Okay, so then you have that. Okay, well then after that, there are certain things that as a new podcaster, I learned, okay? Your title is important. Now, people say title of your podcast or your episode or your show. But that's not really what it is. There's more to it. Your title needs a hook. So as you heard in the beginning, I said, starting a podcast is overwhelming. Not anymore. Here's the easy way to begin. That's the hook. Okay. That's your hook. Now I will say that I will change the title a little bit, and the title will say No BS Podcasting, Simple Steps to Start Today. That's going to engage your audience. Okay. And how I do this now, a lot of you might be sitting there saying, well, how do I come up with a topic or whatever? What I do is I know what I want to talk about. I also know my theme. My theme is the twisted truth. So I also understand that I'm trying to debunk things. I'm trying to look at my own crazy thought process. So I'll tell Chat GPT that I have an idea. Can you formulate it based on my theme and give me a title with a hook that is based on the topic that I want to come up with. I also ask it to give me a couple of suggestions. Now, what I then do is, because I know the topic already, I then look and figure out which one of those hooks and titles makes sense to me that I can then talk to without really being prompted. Now, yes, you can ask ChatGPT to create a script for you. You can read it, and I'll talk about some software later on in the video that will help you, okay, as a beginner. However, I would say everyone's looking for authentic. Everyone's looking for someone to be real. I can tell when someone's reading a script, and it kind of turns me off because I'm like, I know you want to be professional. You want to be on point. I get that. We can use your screen, which, as you saw, I moved. I do have some prompts up here, but they're just bullet points. They're talking points so that I know that I'm staying on track and I'm getting everything that I wanted to talk about. And I write things down, see? So, in essence, that is really about your title, making sure that your title has a hook, see? Check mark. Now, when you watch videos and they talk about these thumbnails, right? Thumbnail. And now you might use Canva, or you might use your own Photoshop, or you might ask an AI to create your imagery for your thumbnail. When you download it, whatever software you use is going to come up with its own title. That's what a lot of people don't realize. You should change that title name. The key is whatever the topic that you're talking about is where you should put in the title. So meaning the keywords. The keywords of your topic should be your file name. So that helps So SEO, search engine optimization, and YouTube, whatever software platforms you're using, podcasts, whatever. They know what your image is pertaining to, and then it should also match your title, the title with a hook. Okay, so making sure that your file names have that, as well as your videos. Depending on what software, when you download that video, you need to make sure that you're changing the file name and adding keywords into your file name that pertains to your topic or your episode. Okay. I was making that mistake. I'm telling you, I made that mistake. And I had to go through all of my videos and change the titles to create hooks. And I saw a difference. I even found when I was changing them that I said to myself, wow, I want to listen to this podcast. Because then I was like, oh, wow. And what I did was I already created my own titles. So then I asked ChatGPT to help me out. I said, can you give me titles? Can you edit my current title and convert it to a title with a hook? I wrote it. ChatGPT didn't write it. And then now I feel more confident because, like I said, I was scrolling through changing titles. I was like, oh, I want to listen to this, because if you're looking at a title and you don't even want to look at it, then you need to change it. Okay. Titles, keywords. Okay, I'm lighting mic. See, we write things down so we can keep up. So when it comes to beginning of podcasting, right? I didn't know what software to use. And I have to be honest, I use ChatGPT. I said, I want to start a podcast. What services should I use? And it popped up a couple. And I've investigated and I researched and I found a couple that I wanted to. I read and I looked at their features. Some were way advanced. I felt like, oh, maybe I'm not there yet. Let me start on the lower scale and get my feet wet. So the first thing is I realized, oh, you need something for audio, a distributor for audio. Okay. So then I realized, oh, okay, because I've written books and things that I know. I'm self-published. I know about Amazon and how to publish on Amazon. And so I kind of understood and I have music out under my persona, Rex Wes, WES. And so I knew that you needed a distributor. So like I did my own music, I went to Record Union and they distribute my music. So I knew that I needed somewhere to go for podcasting. So I found out of the list that it gave me, one that I felt very simple. I even went to YouTube and watched some tutorials and I said, oh, okay, I could really grasp that. This is where YouTube comes into play. I then was working on it myself, but then I stumbled, and then I went to YouTube to figure out, okay, what do I need? So the first thing was Buzzsprout. It's a service that does the audio where you upload your episode. What the downside of Buzzsprout is that you have to pay for membership. You can have free, but it only gives you a certain amount of hours. And it's based on hours. So I think it's so many hours for $24 right? And I felt based on how many I'm doing 20-minute shows, I figured, oh, I think it's 700 hours or whatever. I divided that through the month. I said, oh, that would get me one show a day, practically, or maybe a couple of days off. But it would lead me into being consistent with creating my videos. Haha, you heard me. Consistency. So I also know that being consistent is also a part of this process. Okay. So just know that when you're going into this, put aside 20 minutes, 30 minutes, learn how to upload file names, get your own internal process. I'm starting to get really quick at recording, getting the video, uploading the audio. And the reason why is because the other service that I use is Riverside. Riverside is amazing for me because I can I record my video. It gives me a transcript. What I then do is I tell ChatGPT, because it's using my words to generate based on what I have said and try, and I tell it to use my words, don't alter what I've said, create a blog post. Wow, I have a blog post. Then what I then do is I extract the audio. Remember, I changed the file name. Now I have the audio. Now, within the system, you can create your beginning, your endings, your intros, all that. You can learn further on that yourself. Okay. But I then now have a video and an audio to extract it in one, can extract it from one place, which I love. Riverside allows for a script section, so you can have a script. So if you're trying to get into the entertainment industry and you don't know how to read a teleprompter or know how it works, because I've always wanted to be in broadcasting myself, and I was always scared about reading from a teleprompter. Well, what am I doing now? I can read from a teleprompter, which is really helpful. Because if you want, like I said, you can put a script in, you can I do talking points. So it then scrolls, I have it scrolling, and I'm on point. Then it also has a timer where I can see how many minutes I'm at. I love it. Plus, with the show notes on Riverside, you can quickly see what your summary, get your takeaways, get your what else? I'm sorry, I'm going blank. Your takeaways, your sound bites, and it even gives you some keywords to start off. Now, I would say you need to expand on those, but it gives you general keywords that based on what you talked about, is already there for you. That makes it, oh my God, there's no reason why you can't start. I'm making this easy. And lastly, you need a website. How are you sending everybody you? Because you got people going to audio podcast channels, and you got people going to YouTube. I found this company called Podpage. Oh my God. You link in your RSS feeds, your stuff starts linking. I have my videos. It's an amazing website. What I will do is I'm going to put my website at the bottom here so that you can go check out my website. And then I'm going to put the link to them. So I think they give you a couple of days free. You can click on my link and within the bio section, it's podcast.com, but I'll put the link down below for you to click so that I do get credit that you heard from me, that you learned about the company from me. That will help. And also, the last thing that I would say is people say that don't just record and then close your laptop. I agree with that. I would say that, go on other people's podcasts that resonate with you, that even matter. I would say that you want similar content and making comments on those, because their audience might see your comment. They might jump over and see yours. Also, when people leave comments, I would say answer them. Now, yes, you don't, once you get bigger, you might not have the capacity to do so. And obviously you would want to create a community where everyone is then talking to each other, and then that's how you create this community. So then you're not always having to manage. But I say in the beginning, you should respond to people. I don't want to say respond to the negative, because I'm on this whole kick. Negativity is not in my life. I don't want it. If they're negative, I'm going to ignore it. I mean, that's my intention. I think negativity it's more harmful than good. Unless it's criticism to make you better, then sure, listen and know where it's coming from. If the person is being outright rude, nasty, and using profanity and just not really being positive and giving good feedback, I don't have time for it. So you handle that the way you need to handle it. So starting a podcast can be overwhelming, right? But not anymore, because Corey Wesley helped you, right? So I want to say thank you for tuning into another episode of The Twisted Truth with Corey. And so the twisted truth here is that you can start a podcast and it's not overwhelming. You just got to get up and do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Remember to stay blessed because you are already blessed. And remember to love yourself, trust yourself, and believe in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, you can do anything. And that's why if you want to start a podcast, it's not overwhelming because I, Corey Wesley, just helped you. Have a great day, everyone. Stay positive. That's a wrap for this episode of The Twisted Truth with Corey Wesley. If you've enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the show with someone who needs a fresh perspective. Remember to stay curious, stay bold, and always remember this: the truth isn't always what it seems. Until next time, keep thinking, keep questioning, and keep twisting the truth. See you soon.